Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols, reaming my body.
Ladies and gentlemen, for every single character, or every single major character, I should say, of the Boruto series, or even any other anime period, there is always a time where you just have absolutely no idea what they are doing. For Sasuke, was when he went to Orochimaru to gain power with no possible way of actually returning and possibly escaping from Orochimaru, basically giving his body to Orochimaru. That turned out well, but besides the point. And Naruto had a completely confusing situation where he basically got a serious case of the beats from some hidden Cloud Ninja Malum because he wanted them to take out their frustration for Sasuke on him. Kawaki is having his moment at this particular time. Ladies and gentlemen, Kawaki did not leave the village to gain power. He did not leave the village to potentially steal one of Shin Uchiha's Mangekyo. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, he left the village to meet Code. And he didn't just leave the village to meet Code to beat him up. He left the village to meet Code and have Code kill him and try to stop him from actually attacking the Hidden Leaf Village. Ladies and gentlemen, I am perplexed. I am confused, and this is all coming off the heels of the Giants absolutely breaking my heart a couple of hours ago. This right here has to be one of the most confusing days of my life. Ladies and gentlemen, pick what I'm throwing down. Kawaki thought that if he would actually give himself up to Code, that he would basically not attack the Hidden Leaf Village, not attack Naruto, not attack Sasuke, and not attack Boruto, not understanding that Code himself is not just out for revenge. Code himself is out to become the Otsutsuki god. This man Kawaki was gravely mistaken, and now he is in a particular situation where Kawaki and Boruto are essentially trying to 2v2 a god level character in Code who was stated to be even stronger than a character who pushed Naruto to becoming tired taijutsu wise and match that man. Ladies and gentlemen, pick up what I'm throwing down. Kawaki and Boruto are literally in a no-win situation. The only hope that they could possibly look for is help from either Sasuke, the Sensory Ninja, or Naruto. Now I think it's clear that I'm absolutely flummoxed. Now before I detail my absolute confusion and pure disappointment to Kawaki, I do want to give a huge big ups to Kawaki. This right here is an absolutely huge step for Kawaki's character development. We've already known that Kawaki has came a very long way from what he started with, but now Kawaki is literally trying to dive to save the Hidden Leaf Village. Like, for a lot of people, he's gonna seem like a young goat. This man is literally putting his own life on the line to save the Hidden Leaf Village, something that Boruto kind of hesitated upon back when he was actually fighting against Ishiki Otsutsuki. I think Kawaki, as of right now, is definitely going to be a very popular character in regards to the people who actually do love the Hidden Leaf Village, love Naruto, and love Sasuke. Kawaki is putting it all on the line. Now, I want to give a huge shout out to Organic Dinosaur for actually tweeting out all this information. She tweeted out basically the entire chapter, all the dialogue, everything scene by scene, step by step, and everything. And the biggest thing that I did take away was this blunder from Kawaki. Now there is multiple other things that happened in that chapter. For example, first things first, one of the best things that we do understand right now is that Naruto now knows that Kawaki did actually leave the Hidden Leaf Village. This right here is a very good sign. Not only is Sasuke actively looking for Code, Naruto is actively looking for Kawaki, which possibly means that Naruto and Sasuke are going to eventually run into Kawaki, Code, and Boruto. Now, not only that, in my last video, I did talk about if Amato understood that Kawaki was about to leave the Hidden Leaf Village, he would have potentially understood exactly what Kawaki was leaving it for. Now, at that particular time, I personally thought that Kawaki was leaving the Hidden Leaf Village for some sort of mysterious power boost to potentially rival a character like Code, Ida, and potentially even Damon. But Amato, in this particular chapter, was absolutely clueless because he himself, as a smart character, had absolutely no idea why Kawaki would do such a thing like that. And even now, he is still clueless. Now, a big part of this episode was, of course, Kawaki masking his chakra. No one knows how he did it. Boruto doesn't even know how he sensed Kawaki masking his chakra and how he understood that Kawaki had a shadow clone in his own house. Naruto himself couldn't necessarily sense Kawaki. None of the sensory ninjas in the village couldn't necessarily sense Kawaki, and it's becoming very clear to a lot of us that Boruto and Kawaki, as of right now, a lot of their Otsutsuki abilities are pretty much popping up. A lot of them are starting to show themselves. Now, they've pretty much been 80% for a very long time, but a very big thing that we do have to keep in mind is that Kawaki, even though he's 80% Otsutsuki, that power right there is essentially completely untapped. Kawaki can literally, in the next chapter, be a lot stronger than what he was in this chapter, just off of him learning how to use a lot of the abilities that is already instilled in his body. I think one of the biggest things that a lot of people noticed over the past couple of chapters, again, referencing directly to Kawaki actually gaining this ability to mask his chakra, is the fact that Boruto and Kawaki are learning all of these abilities out of thin air. They're not necessarily training these abilities, they're not necessarily sharpening their skills and somehow unlocking brand new abilities of the Otsutskis that are already implanted within them. No, it's happening completely and absolutely random, which possibly means in the next chapter, they're probably going to be a lot stronger than they were in this particular chapter. And I think it's going to be more emphasized mainly because Boruto and Kawaki are actually going to be in battle versus the character that they're probably going to be completely outmatched with. So the only possible way I could possibly see them, you know, possibly rivaling Code, and I said possible a lot of times just now, is them tapping into some unknown power of the Otsutsuki clan out of thin air. And this right here, as I said, is not out of the realm of possibility, because over the past few chapters, it has definitely been happening spontaneously. Now, Code's objective was made absolutely clear. Code basically restated his objective. He basically said that he wants to plant a god tree which will eventually kill everyone on Earth. One thing that I do want to point out though is that Code was speaking as if it was actually going to kill everybody on Earth that's there right now. And one thing that was made very clear in previous episodes is that it takes a very long time to absorb all of the chakra on Earth. More than likely, it's probably going to take over 100 years. I'm pretty damn sure it was stated at one particular time that it possibly took 1,000 years. Now, I personally believe that that right there is going to be shortened just because of the way that they're talking, but I still don't necessarily see 1,000 years being shortened to, like, I don't know, 5 years or something like that. That seems absolutely insane. But not only did Code actually say that he'd be doing that, and obviously that right there indicates that Code wants to eat the chakra fruit and possibly upgrade himself and become a quote-unquote Otsutsuki god. That right there is extremely questionable, mainly because we understand that Code right now is not necessarily an Otsutsuki member. The karma seal that he did get from Ishiki Otsutsuki had no substance in it, mainly because he had a blank karma seal, a white karma seal, which possibly means that he's still like a full cyborg or a full human being at this particular time. We have no idea. So him eating chakra fruits, I don't know if that's going to make him an Otsutsuki god. That's completely besides the point. Not only that, he also restated his actual desires to kill people that was involved in the killing of Ishiki Otsutsuki. This is something that we've known for a very long time. Kawaki himself, this right here is a very big surprise to him. Understandably so. I know I gave him a very tough time at the beginning of this video because he wasn't necessarily privy to what we seen as an audience. He didn't necessarily get the manga pages of Code basically saying that he wants to actually become the Otsutsuki god. He never got that memo. What else did I talk about? I talked about Amato potentially showing his cyborg a little bit more in this chapter. That's not happening. Turns out that it's probably not necessarily going to be apparent until possibly the next episode, the next chapter, the chapter after that. Who knows at this particular point? What we do know though, which is a very good thing, is that the cyborg is actually confirmed to be being worked on and possibly even complete at this particular point. And it wouldn't necessarily surprise me at all if hypothetically the cyborg would actually fight against a character like Code, even though that right there would be very dangerous, mainly because it would most likely put Amato in possible direct connections to a character like Code. And obviously for Code to lift his limit, he needs to be in contact with Amato. But regardless, I think this chapter right here, entertainment wise, it's looking really, really good. I am personally expecting a very good chapter. It's still going to be very difficult, mainly because we understand that Kawaki made some completely confusing decisions in the past couple of chapters. But let me know what you guys think about this chapter in the comment section below. I personally like it. Let me know what you guys think. It's been your boy Baara B, and we out.
It's a knife.